So you're welcome to my channel. Is Bitcoin legal? That is the question. What is legal? Okay, okay. The government has not recognized it. It has not gained some licensing and the rest of them. That's why you might say it's legal. Well, and the question you might be asking, okay, why is it that the government have not actually legalized this stuff? Well, and is the government looking into the blockchain? That's one of the questions you should actually look. Now, why is Bitcoin not yet legal? Is it legal? These are the questions that could be asking yourself. Or am I going to buy this thing and the government is going to wake up one day and say, like China, we are banning all Bitcoin exchanges? Is Bitcoin legal? Let's go through it. Now, one of the things you must know is the rules of uh, legality. It varies from place to place. What could be crime in one place may not be in another place. So it's a subject of interest today because it has not been bound, neither has it been given license. So it's like something that is standing in the in between the fence. Though most of the companies are adopting it, but and most of the people are actually looking behind the technology, which is the blockchain, but they have not been regulations per se to say, okay, we are now adopting Bitcoin as a currency for transactions. Like the government has not said, okay, we are buying Bitcoin, or no, we are saying we are taking Bitcoin now to actually be a second like fiddle to the dollar. Now, why is it? Why is it that it will be very very difficult for the government to actually adopt Bitcoin? I don't know if the government will actually make some changes. Why it will be very difficult is because, like, unlike your on traditional money, you cannot print your money yourself. Though you may have the machines, you cannot print money yourself. The only person, the only body that is in a country that is authorized to print money is a central bank. But with the Bitcoin, if you have the hardware, you can actually print Bitcoin. Now, the printing of Bitcoin, we don't call it printing Bitcoin, it's called mining. So you can actually be getting what? Bitcoin, this currency, by yourself. Even while you sleep, you have the hardware there, and it's just mine Bitcoin for you. So that's one of the things that the government what we find it very difficult. And the government may raise certain concern like uh, them not being actually given their position as they ought to. So is it legal? We've seen reports where the United States, the Senate invited people to come and talk to the Senate about Bitcoin and the rest of them. We've seen Canada Senate and the rest of them. Now, but they have a fear. As we see here, one of the fear is that Bitcoin can be used to purchase stuffs on the dark web. Now there's a place called the Silk Road. Let's go through. Let's search Google. What is this thing talking about? And the Silk Road is basically kind of a marketplace, but it's in the dark web. If you've not heard, the dark web is a kind of web that it's it's anonymous. You can actually disclose and to know where the servers of this website is, because like if I'm browsing through let's say, let me open the website called market cap, for example. Though you that is we as we're browsing through current cap, you can now actually see where this website is being hosted. But the guys that actually have the equipment, like the government and the rest of them, can actually see into where the server is. But with this system, you cannot. So there are raising concern that people could actually be using Bitcoin to actually um, be performing some illegal trades. I think it was few hours ago where the Vatican was actually saying that people could be probably using Bitcoin for slave trade and the rest of those stuffs. Well, the question should now be asked, if before the coming of Bitcoin, if there was not a dark web, or before the coming of Bitcoin, if there was not a sale, or if there was nothing like slave market. Well, a government may have their own concern, but these things are there. The question should be asked now, okay, the drugs that are being sold, the government is doing a much crackdown on the illegal drugs like cocaine and heroin coming to the country, all governments all over the world. The question is now, the industry is an industry where we only estimate and we can't even actually rightly say how much the industry is. Billions of dollars. We hear of Pablo Escobar, who flies in plane through pilots and actually flies in drugs, and immediately these drugs are flying in, the planes are set on fire. Now you see how much does it cost to actually buy a plane, and someone is using it to transport drugs once and actually setting it in flames. So all these things exist. So what is the concern now, and what should be done? And the question is, who regulates Bitcoin? There is nobody, and the government does not want that. So there are many agencies in the US, like the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. It published guidelines about the use of virtual currencies, and it defined the guidelines as define the circumstances under which cryptocurrency users should be categorized as money service businesses, also known as money transmitting businesses. Now it says these money transmitting businesses must enforce anti-money laundering, and know your clients' measures and find people that they are doing business with. Now what this basically is, okay, if people are to be accepting Bitcoin, where you could actually pay with Bitcoin, but we have to know that, yeah, you are a kind of person that you register, like Coinbase. Coinbase, you can actually buy and sell cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of them. Now, but I said that if you register, you have to get verified. Submit your national passport, your your social security number. Sometimes you just basically submit these things in, just to make sure that you verify. Now, this is one of them. So if businesses are to now accept this thing, it's we have to do with what, having all these things in measure. So for now, the Security and Exchange Commission, like I think they arrested a fellow who actually did some Bitcoin transactions, but in an illegal way. Now they are fearing that Bitcoin could be used for money laundering. The question is, before the advent of Bitcoin, were there no corruptions in government? Were people not stealing from public funds? So it's not This should not be excuses for the government to say let's ban this thing. No, what can be done and enforce this. Remember when the internet came? If the government, the internet, because it was a government project, ARPANET. If the government has said, okay, this thing is very good, let's keep it to ourselves and make it like let's make it central, and let's have a body to govern the web. I think there would have not been development on the web like as you see today. But the web is not being governed by anybody. You only have the W3 consortium. So you see, like countries like the United States, they've not actually given their position on blockchain, but they are not actually against Bitcoin. You see schools like MIT coming. If you type MIT, MIT is looking into the blockchain and Bitcoin. So these people are actually looking into this. Sometimes the MIT have a Bitcoin Expo where they invite people to come and talk on some of the things that actually happen in the cryptocurrency space and some other stuff. And many of it has been been a very exciting time. So for now, there has not been a legislation that has been passed that okay, people cannot use Bitcoin. And some of the exchanges are licensed, like Coinbase. I showed you, they work with the bank, so they are licensed. But it has not been really legalized that it cannot be used in the place of the dollar. United States is having a soft one currently on cryptocurrencies, but other nations of the world that I will give to you, like Canada has adopted it. Canada is not against it. There's other South African countries like the Bolivia has banned it. Brazil, China, and the rest of them, most of them are banning it. But if you come to Europe, places like Romania, you trade cryptocurrency. Estonia. So basically, it varies from country to country. Like you see, China recently banned cryptocurrencies. But and they say they want to issue their own cryptocurrency. China or Russia banned cryptocurrencies. You know, if you watch these countries that are actually banning these stuffs, you will discover one of the things you discover that they almost operate a kind of communist government. There's not like a democratic government where like you see in America when you have these this free market where there is competition, where the government is not the one that is responsible for everything. No. So if you watch this, these are authoritarian governments that are actually who do not want to lose their grip on the people, who wants to always keep these people within their confines, and they see anything that would threaten their authority over these people, they're going to ban it. Imagine uh, countries like North Korea that are not open to the world, and if you bring Bitcoin, they're going to ban it up outrightly. They will tell you they're bringing them. But if you watch, India is much in this thing, Japan is much in this thing, Kazakhstan is much in this thing, and many of these countries. So currently, it has not been really legalized, but many countries have not legalized it, neither have they delegalized it. So Bitcoin is here to stay. The blockchain is here to stay. Thank you.